Tambe Saharang. All right. Ah, really? Ah, that's great. I am gonna see them again maybe on Saturday. On Saturday evening, I'm gonna see them. Hello, lovely. Like, shout out to you, lovely. Thank you so much for coming. Oh, okay. You are outside. Harang. Sorry about that. Lovely. It's Whitey. I don't know anything about that harang. It's Whitey that puts that harang. At LS on Saturday, we're gonna invite you again, sis. Okay, all right, no problem, no problem. Okay, I am definitely gonna come, guys. Please, you have to jump on that party music. Party music. Let me pick up the link and drop it myself. Because I have also live streaming after 1 hour. Just I pass. Oh, thank you so much, lovely Dennis. I am already messed up. I need to go sleep. I am tired. All right, guys. I am gonna transfer you all to party music. Okay. So we go. We all go party. All right. This is the next LS. Okay. All right, guys. Jump on that link. Okay. Oh, lovely. You jump on that link. And who? Richard. Richard is here. Richard. All right. Lovely, don't worry. I am gonna hug you, okay?
Are you still powdering your bones? You know you don't need to.
Zay,
right?
we are
There's
moving
no
to the
need
next
for messy
LS.
powders
Lovely,
or
don't worry.
nasty
I am gonna hug you.
That's the thing of the past.
Zay,
If you want to keep your
jump
fellas
on this
feeling
link.
cool and dry all day and reduce chafing, then you need to get yourself the Crop Preserver. The 24-hour non-powder moisturizer and deodorant was designed for your butt, balls, and body. Boasting active pH control, anti-chafing, quick absorbing, and made in the beautiful U.S. of A. You put deodorant on your armpit.
All right,
so
you are welcome. Philo, please jump on that link.
Head over to manscaped.com and get yourself the Crop Preserver. Your balls will thank you. And for a limited time, get free shipping and a free shared travel bag.
All right, lovely. I am gonna.
Yo, Bob Rass here, and these are my William Painter level sunglasses.
Lovely. I think
First
we
of all,
are.
they got these Japanese
We
nylon
are family
polarized
already.
lenses, which when you look through it,
Lovely. We are
everything
family.
is just
Okay.
so crisp and so
We are
clear.
family.
It's like a big improvement on what you normally see, which is just nuts. It cuts through all the haze. They're super comfortable on my face. They're not too tight and not too loose either, so they don't fall off your face. Part of the reason for that is they have a titanium arm, which is just super sturdy, like the strongest metal out there.
Please go
with
to the
a
next. I don't know why I still
balance.
have
William
my
Painter has a
here.
lifetime guarantee.
Guys, please
so
go
I
to
can
the
feel
next
confident when I get them
LS. This
that
is the
if I
next
do mess them
LS,
up,
okay?
I can get a new pair like that. They have these German hinges
Jump on
which
that
are
link
super
and
sturdy.
move.
other sunglasses, the arms are
Thank
like
you so
falling
much,
off and loose. These aren't going to do that. So
Richard,
go to williampanner.com,
Hello,
pick out your
lovely.
favorite
Thank
pair.
you
You can
all
try
for
them at home
being
for
there.
free for 7 days.
Who
If you
are,
hate them, send them back, but I know you're going to love
I
them.
still have
I
9
love mine.
persons
You're going
here,
to love them too.
according to
Enjoy.
the, I don't know.
Vain imaginations. Y'all play too much. High thoughts. Are y'all ready for this? High thoughts that exalt themselves against the knowledge of God in 2 Corinthians. Y'all play too much. I ain't playing with y'all today. 2 Corinthians. Chapter 10, it says, verse 5, casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalteth itself. Watch this, against the knowledge of God. You guys are wondering, why is it the whole world is talking about a word and they're talking about a book and then they're talking about a people that's of the book? And you're wondering, why is it that it's interrelated to government, to warfare, to Armageddon, to militaries? Because you're the people of the book that's written about, and what was written long ago is shaping your today. What did I tell you in the beginning of this broadcast? A quote that I just told you about from Attorney Ava. Somebody just said, Vicky is raining on us. Listen. I told you, she powerfully said that if you want to experience transformation, transformation only comes first with revelation. So when someone wants to obstruct Black man, your revelation, they tank the book. They misdirect you. They miseducate you. Or they deny you the ability to read and write. Or they lie to you about the interpretation of the book because they know that in order for you to receive transformation, you've got to have a revelation. So they mess with the intelligence. And how many of you all know that one of the most powerful aspects of warfare is when you are given bad intelligence? Y'all play too much. More proof that we are dealing with a war of words and about a word. This is the power of media, television, radio, and print media. And this is the reason why they don't like this right here. I mentioned to you a few minutes ago that I had the high privilege of having a personal invitation from Minister Farrakhan's office to invite me to attend the garden. We were socially distanced. I was quite a ways, distance away. But the idea that I was even on the farm, I had to leave early. I told you guys that I left right after because I got sick. You all know I'm battling an autoimmune illness and I haven't traveled since last year. Watch this. One of the things that Minister Farrakhan said during his worldwide address on July 4th, where millions and millions of people have watched, where YouTube has pulled down one of the major networks, they've removed it, where you see opposition in all these places to try to shut up what this man is saying. Watch this. He said something during that event.
All right, like basketball is in the
and I made a
house,
promise.
in the house.
I won't get into all of the details, but I had the honor of speaking with a staff member after I attended the event. And my direct word and promise to the minister, and he knows this directly from Vicky. He said during that event, he said, if you know the truth, he said, you better shout it from the mountaintop. And I made a vow in that moment that by the help of God, Vicky is going to shout the truth from the mountaintop. That's a war of words. They killed Martin King not because he had a machete, not because he had an AK-47, not because he threatened to do violence to America. They murdered Malcolm X. Though Malcolm believed in self-defense because he learned it from his teacher, and he was part of the nation that believed in defending yourself. But he was not a man that was going around threatening to destroy America militarily. But America killed them. America persecuted Marcus Garvey Anybody that comes to do good for black folks, they killed you. They try to. I said they try to. Like they did Minister Farrakhan, but he survived. Let me tell you something. Those men didn't do violence to America, but they have been attacked and assassinated or attempted to have been assassinated because of the words, a greater weapon. That's the reason why the principle that the pen is mightier than the sword. You see that principle in the power of words. Because baby, we can write you out of our planet. They already sense their end. You all know it's written in the book of Revelation that the devil has come down to make warfare because he knows that his time is short. See, it's our word, God, today. In the beginning was the word was with God, the word was God. Y'all ain't ready for this revelation. And also that was what it said in Genesis, right? But in the book of Revelation, if you study it out, and I know some of you guys are scared to death to study that book, it's because some of the stuff that we've been taught confuses us, because you know why? A white supremacist mind is the one that tried to give us the interpretation. I had to throw all of that away. I give no credence to what they say. I pay attention to what the black revelation says. But guess what else the book of Revelation says? They said that the real Jesus is so powerful that he goes about strutting on a horse, and tattooed to his thigh says the word of God. Your scientists are proving, even through things like what's called a string theory, that as they begin to search out the stuff of creation, it's seeming more and more like a sound, like a word. In the beginning was the word was with God, the word, what? Was God. It's a war of words. But words manifest in books. So they try to control black thought, black speech, what we read. You heard this funny looking Cooper fella say, what? It would have been fine, Nick, if you and Professor Griff were having that conversation in a coffee shop. But it's gone all over social media and other people have picked it up. They're concerned about black influence. You guys don't understand. You are not only the people of the book, you are the book. There was a song I grew up singing. I was raised in a Baptist church. We would go to what they call, conventions. How many of y'all know about these Baptist conventions we used to have in different states? We would have to prepare for a presentation, the youth, on that Friday. Y'all keep giving us thumbs up, liking, and sharing. Go to clubvicky.com and make sure that you check out our store, shopfnq.com. Somebody put it in the chat. If you're watching us on one of our other platforms where the Vicky Show is replayed on Fly Nubian Queen, please like, please share, and subscribe there as well. Thank you so much. Listen, there was a little song. I want you to listen to a little bit more of this. And I'll make one more thing clear, and then we'll go from there. Shout out to you, Miss B, for your $50 gift. Your truth quenches my thirst for knowledge. Oh, beloved, that's beautiful. Thank you. So wisdom from the Spirit, beloved. I take no credit. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Listen, there was a song that we would sing at this convention when we were children, and we were preparing for the convention on Fridays. And one of the songs that we ended up singing is, be careful how you walk. There's a little principle in the song. Be careful how you talk. Be mindful of the things you say. Let your words be few and seasoned with grace. Remember, you're the only Bible some will ever read. I thought that was very interesting. In other words, you become the book. When you stop just thinking about the book, reading about the book, speaking like the book, when you start acting on the book, you become the book. Y'all play too much. Thumbs up, family. Keep liking and sharing. Listen to this part.
Atzufehem shanim, shano kach deoteim shanim.
All right.
Which means panim is face. Just as no two faces are alike, no two people think exactly alike.
That's true. And I since, I don't know, I'm going to shout myself out, give myself a Hebrew thing. I know, Azel Haham, Halomed, Nicole Adam,
excellent.
means all people.
If you
All the wise men must learn from all people.
that's correct.
So
I believe
while we're
in that.
sitting here, and that's even in that question.
What Mr. Wiesenthal taught me some interesting things, but I think only someone who went through it could sort of set those markers down, because he refused.
Let me tell you all something. My brother said this so powerfully earlier today. They're sitting here talking about all this stuff. Family, I'm going to probably do a part 2. Would you guys come back tomorrow? I'm going to pick this up tomorrow, do a part 2. But before you go, I want to show you something. Inshallah, God willing. I want to go through this again. I want to go through part 2 because this is a lot. Watch this. Thumbs up. Keep liking and sharing. Let me tell y'all something. This guy is sitting here, and Nick is sitting there talking about how he hates white supremacy. You're going to hear it. But Nick is sitting there with a white supremacist, openly still disrespecting Minister Farrakhan. But let me tell you something. Even though Nick allowed him to get away with some disrespect, there were still some important things that's happening during this interview. This guy, this Mr. Cooper, is looking kind of stupid. I said, this guy is looking kind of stupid. Let me warn you guys something. Let me prophetically tell you something. Let me foretell you something. The fact that this man did this interview, even though Nick apologized, even though Nick looks like he's groveling and humbling himself, even when he shouldn't have apologized, let me tell you something. Because of the nature, because of the historical pattern and precedents our open enemy has set, they're going to see this as a loss. Y'all ain't believing me right now. I know right now you guys are saying that Nick looks weak. He should have called them on some stuff, and he should have called them on some stuff. But can I tell you, some of the things that are highlighted in this interview is still exposing them. And you're going to see a lot more of them, white supremacists, trying to give more and more backlash. But can I tell you something? They're going to do it in a way where they're going to see white supremacy is most effective nowadays because they rename it. They call it something else. And they administer white supremacy. They change the manner in which they administer white supremacy. Did you all hear what I said? So the reason why some of you are not going to recognize white supremacy, and the same reason you don't have your physical chains on you anymore. So some of you Negroes get confused and think that you're actually free, but you're actually remote control. You're dealing with a Wi-Fi enslavement. You can't see the obvious connection because you can't see the cord and the plug. Because they call it something else. Give you an example.
So that's going to be one of the biggest events in the conscious community history.
Bless the Sarnetta TV Awards, and if you don't like it, here's my suggestion: that you start an award show and show us how it's done, and the people can support that and do it right. But there's nothing negative about that. Sarnetta plays his part. Sarnetta plays his role, and what he does is a positive thing. Sarnetta TV is effective as all. That is the hub of our consciousness to some degree. You just can't deny that. When it comes to media, Black News 102 is the hub of Black consciousness, right? Where else you going? There's nobody else in all of New York City doing what Sarnetta does, and Black News 102 does. Sarnetta is a master at what he does. I told y'all that value comes from the ability to solve a problem and the inability to replace it. Now, as much as I would love Sarnetta to do other things, I know I don't have the ability to replace Black News 102. And neither do you.
Sarnetta's reign is supreme, nigga. Illuminati shit, nigga. Bow down. That's just what it is. Alright? Bow the fuck down. Sarnetta.
Meron silang mga program lately about Francisco Leo Marcos. And of course, yung channel nila is about charity work or foundation, guys. So kung pupunta po kayo doon, magiging bahagi po kayo ng kanyang adikain. Maraming salamat. Life with Cloverlyn, thank you so much again. Host, na-share ko na po. Maraming salamat sa nag-share. Maraming salamat sa inyo. Guys, ibababa ko po ulit, guys, yung link ng ating newest member, Team AA White, and of course, Baricor TV. Kahit na offline po tayo, guys, nagpa-member po siya. Maraming salamat po, guys. Puntahan natin, guys, binababa ko po yung link, Baricor TV, and of course, Team AA White. Maraming salamat. Leia Perking, kami ng movie. Bukas na ba ang sinihan ngayon? Park Cham Vlogs, maraming salamat. Park Cham Vlogs, mega welcome, guys. Puntahan din natin, guys. Kasama natin sa Park Cham Vlogs, kasama natin sa Team PT Joiners. Meron siyang mga kaganapan din sa kanyang bahay. Angel Ray, nakuha ko yung word mo na kaganapan na kung gusto niyo ng music, playing guitar, drumming, Park Cham Vlogs, guys, puntahan po natin, guys, ang kanyang bahay, guys. Puntahan natin, guys. First, we would like to welcome Park,
Like and share this video, please. Hey, everybody. Hey. This is going to be a 3-hour stream. It's going to be fun. It's going to get lit. It's about to get lit right now.
A lot of pastors and preachers who were alphas. Martin Luther King, anybody? Morehouse College right here in Atlanta. Omega Psi Phi. A lot of athletes and a lot of athlete scholars came through Omega Psi Phi. Kappa Alpha Psi, businessmen. Phi Beta Sigma, a little bit of all of that. Delta Sigma Theta and AKA number 1 and 2 sororities, hands down, always has been, always will be, were always the top women on any yard. The top women on any yard were in those organizations or wanted to be a part of those. Even if they didn't get to be a part of them, they always had a hell to respect. Why do these things win? Bro, first off, if you grow up like most black men, you don't have without a father. Guess what? A lot of the father figures and the men, the movers and shakers in the black community, the people who can be those mentors are Greek members. Every man in my life, every black man in my life, through my education, was either a Kappa or an Alpha. I did not know that when I was 7 years old. I didn't know this when I was 11 years old. I just knew these men had an outsized position in my life. And it turns out when I got to high school, I found out Dr. Ed was a Kappa. I found out that my ex-father-in-law was Kappa. Found out that my band director, one of the biggest men in my life, was an Alpha. The assistant band director, another Alpha. Head football coach, Q. Track team coach, Sigma. Second grade teacher, Delta. 10th grade English teacher. Almost every black educator I had was either in a fraternity or sorority. So when I get somebody like Laura Richard coming here talking shit about him, yeah, you gonna get my backup. You goddamn right. Black people never want to give the people who do something credit. You always trying to tear people down. Shut up. up. Shout out to the Qs. Shout out to the Alphas. Shout out to the Sigmas. Shout out to the Iotas. What up, Phi? Shout out to the Deltas. Shout out to the AK. Shout out to the Sigma Gamma Rho. Shout out to Z Phi B. When I went to university, I knew I wanted to pledge. Why? Because I knew that the men I had respect for growing up were all members of fraternities. I knew that I wanted some of that. I didn't have a dad growing up, but I knew that the men who I held in high esteem were part of that. There was no way to really lose. Robert Smith, Alpha, yes. There was no way to really lose, but when I decided I wanted to pledge Kappa, it was because, honestly, all the men who stood head and shoulder above other men in my life were Kappas. And here's the thing, they had beautiful wives and nice families. Of the 36 AKAs that I know at the Oklahoma City Alumni Chapter, 33 of them were married to Newts. So when I went on to college, OU, the Kappa chapter was non-existent. It had been kicked off the yard for some BS. Alphas were running the yard. The Qs were a small chapter. The Sigmas were a small chapter. What I understood about black fraternities is they are very small because it's like a family. And if you grow up in a place where you have no father and you don't have any brothers and sisters, this was an opportunity for somebody. This was an opportunity for you to get online and pledge with somebody who you make lifelong friendships with. I would every Sunday. I rap with some OU. We get together on a Zoom call and just talk and chop it up. You got men who pledged in 1982 who do everything like they did 30 plus years ago. They are legitimately brothers. I'm not gonna call these guys names because they're not over here. But when you see it work, when you see people go in organizations and they actually have a love for each other like they would a brother, these guys travel the world together, go to games together, network together. Same thing with women. This is why, how is this a bad thing? When I went in to interview for my second internship, I was arguably not the most qualified from a GPA standpoint. Reginald Lewis, 5'8", Reginald Lewis, 5. When I went to interview for my second internship, I was in the middle of the pack academically. And this position paid 30% more. I went into the interview nervous. I interviewed, okay. But a part of my interview, I leaned back and my jacket open. And right in my cheap suit, because I was a college student, my fraternity pin was showing.
Jackie, our dear sister from the Nation of Islam NOI research group, watch what she said. She said they're one of the most powerful organizations that are out there, right? What's known as SWC, the Simon Wentworth Center. She says that they're one of the most powerful religious organizations. I'm skipping through. They were attacking Minister Farrakhan because of some books that they put out that mostly quotes their teachers, their scholars, and their rabbis, right? The Simon Wentworth Center, watch what she says. This is the guy who Nick was talking to. So we want to give Nick these receipts to let him know who he was actually speaking to. She says here, as the national bestseller goes into its second printing, the SWC, Simon Wentworth Center, under the leadership of Rabbi Marvin Heyer and Abraham Cooper. Abraham Cooper was the guy Nick sat down with. Isn't that his name? This was 10 years ago, family. She says Abraham Cooper and Harold Brackman, they've launched a classic disinformation campaign to discredit the book and the minister. She says that they penned a tepid 16-page rebuttal to the 512-page TSRV2 that avoids all of the NOI's books, important themes, inserts, extraneous issues that are not even in the book, and arrogantly refuses to acknowledge the central role that they played in the enslavement, dehumanization, emasculation, and psychological destruction of Black people for over 400 years. Somebody say this was 10 years ago. We're calling you out, Mr. Cooper. This is who Nick sat down with. But our brother Nick didn't know this. Oh, this is Vicky's class today. Vicky's class and court. But listen, I'm just going to give you 2 points and we're going to go. She talks about, she says, what's generally unknown about the Simon Wiesenthal Center is that they have a well-documented history of lies, distortions, and exaggerations. She said, watch this. She said that among their many documented ruses, she said they doctored a World War II photograph of concentration camp prisoners painting in smoke, billowing from chimneys, intending to make viewers believe that it was from the Jews who were being incinerated. After it was disclosed that the center had inserted the smoke, the center removed it from the photograph and eventually removed the picture from its website. That was Mr. Cooper and the scientists, the Black researchers, busted them a decade ago. This is who Nick sat down with. Somebody talk Black to me. See, Black people, we're against anybody being anti-Semitic. We're against anybody being anti-Black. We're against oppression of any people. We got you running, sir. One of many things that they did. Oh, this is Vicky's class. Y'all can send Nick this link. He probably didn't know they did this. I gotta go. Thumbs up, thumbs up. Watch this. They doctored a World War II photograph of concentration camp prisoners, painting in smoke, billowing from chimneys, and intending to make viewers believe that it was from Jews who were being incinerated. After it was disclosed that the center had inserted the smoke, the center removed it from the photograph and eventually removed it from the website. But see, it took Black folk to bust them. Watch this. Incredibly, the center tried to explain away the embarrassment by claiming that the smoke was a result of a smudge, an explanation that no one believed. They got a link here to the original photo and the SWC airbrush version that can be seen at this particular link. I'm going to provide this for you tomorrow. Also, these links. Part 2, God willing. Not only that, thumbs up, family. Thumbs up, keep liking and sharing. ClubVicky.com, FlyNubianBusiness.com. Mark Weber, director of the Institute of Historical Review, wrote that the SWC, quote, record of exaggerating anti-Jewish sentiment to raise money is no secret. Even the Anti-Defamation League has acknowledged that the center makes inaccurate and exaggerated claims about anti-Semitism to raise money. Again, the ADL, the Anti-Defamation League, is no friend to Black folks. But even the Anti-Defamation League has said that the Simon Wiesenthal Center, no, don't mess with Black media. I said, don't mess with Black media. This is from 10 years ago. We want to help our brother Nick. Nick didn't know this. Nick didn't know he was sitting down with a man that they busted with lies. Now you understand why they don't want to come to the table? Thumbs up, thumbs up. Vicky doesn't tolerate true anti-Semitism. Fly Nubian Queen does not tolerate that. We don't tolerate anti-Black racism. Y'all better talk Black to me. You can't call us no hater. But you mad when we bust you for lying. You gotta prove that the 500-year Black man and Black woman are haters. Thumbs up, thumbs up. The fabrication or suppression of information by the center appears to be their mainstay. Indeed, Simon Wiesenthal himself. What did I just say? That this beautiful black writer said? Indeed, Simon Wiesenthal, how you pronounce his name? I said Wiesenthal. The man himself, the organization that Mr. Cooper works for, who's disrespecting Minister Farrakhan and by extension black people. That organization, she says the man himself, Simon Wiesenthal, has come under fire for his sordid history of flagrant lying and bold-faced exaggerations. The famed Austrian Nazi hunter, remember the man used that phrase Nazi hunter in the interview with Nick? Remember Mr. Cooper called him a Nazi hunter? Well, guess what the black media uncovered 10 years ago? She said that Simon Wiesenthal himself came under fire for his sordid history of flagrant lying and bold-faced exaggerations. The famed Austrian Nazi hunter, now confirmed by newly found documents to have been an Israeli Mossad agent, was said to, quote, never let the facts get in the way of a good story. Shout out to black media. Somebody say no anti-black racism. What did black media put in a piece a decade ago? What did our queen sister put in as a part of the research team a decade ago? Y'all play too much. I wonder if my sister couldn't have known that a decade ago, when I was dealing with a trial in a federal court after being targeted for my activism, for my mouth, the work that I was doing because of the injustices of powerful people, before I was hunted down by high-level government agents, and when they were showing up to my activism organizations and stuff, y'all sit there, y'all play too much, y'all play too much, y'all play too much. Little did I know a decade ago that somebody was going to write something a decade ago while I was going through hell. I wonder if my sister, she couldn't have known that a decade later, the research that she helped put together was going to be used on a Vicky show. God, today, to keep exposing. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 talks about that man of lawlessness is being revealed. Oh, this is who Nick sat down with, but Nick didn't know he was sitting down with this man. I'm done. I told you I'm going to pick up on this tomorrow because it's more. We got to do part 2. Inshallah, God willing. I know we lost a whole bunch of people, but some of you all stayed. Watch this. Y'all don't play with us about receipts. We don't believe in, see, when we talk about the big black brain, see, some of you guys, you've exalted the scholarship over others. You put limits on the black mind. Mr. Wiesenthal himself, Simon Wiesenthal himself, has come under fire for his sordid history of flagrant lying and bold-faced exaggerations. Remember Mr. Cooper, the rabbi that Nick sat down with? Remember he called Wiesenthal a Nazi hunter? It says the famed Austrian Nazi hunter is confirmed by newly found documents to have been an Israeli Mossad agent. For those of you who don't know what the Mossad is like the CIA agent type equivalent for Israel. They said that Mr. Wiesenthal was that. New documents revealed. Hunting Evil author Guy Walters depicts Wiesenthal as, quote, a liar and a bad one at that, end quote. I didn't say Vicky. I didn't say N-O-I. I said Hunting Evil author Guy Walters depicts Wiesenthal as, quote, a liar and a bad one at that. We don't even need to bring your religion in it. We're talking about anti-black racism. It says he relates how Wiesenthal concocted outrageous stories about his war years and made fictitious claims concerning his academic achievements. Walters found, quote, so many inconsistencies between Wiesenthal's 3 main memoirs and contemporaneous documents that it is impossible to establish a reliable narrative from them. Wiesenthal's scant, that means little bit, Wiesenthal's scant regard for truth makes it possible to doubt everything he ever wrote or said, end quote. The The same disregard for the plagues a center named after Mr. Wiesenthal. If y'all want to hear more receipts, you can get them tomorrow on The Vicky Show at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on FlyNubianQueenTV.com, the network for melanated women like you. And we shout out to the brothers. We love everybody. We're the most forgiving and loving people on the planet. I told you. The reason why some of you are like, Vicky, why don't you go harder? No, I'll go harder on my own platform at VickyDilla.tv in the next few days. Subscribe so you'll be receiving notification when I do that piece there. Shout out to Nick for interviewing the guy after all. Yes, I don't like the disrespect of the minister. That is unacceptable. We're going to give the necessary people that work, but I'm not going to beep on Nick right now. Because even though y'all think this looks like an L for Nick, this looks like an L for white supremacy too. And I want you to know that they're going to try to retaliate, Black family. I'm going to give you a warning tomorrow for what we can do about it as a Black unified force.
Put it in the freezer.
Thank those of you that tuned in. Tomorrow, same time, same place, 6:30 p.m. The Vicky Show right here on FlyNubianQueenTV.com. Subscribe to my Instagram page at Vicky X Diller. Subscribe to my personal YouTube. Thank you for your support of other similar people that are giving you this information. And it's my prayer that the Black family stays focused. ClubVicky.com, my mastermind exclusive class. Tomorrow I'm going to be dropping a few jewels, but mostly I'm going to be answering questions during that exclusive time. ClubVicky.com. If you want to learn how to build a Black business, go to FlyNubianBusiness.com, FlyNubianBusiness.com, FlyNubianBusiness.com. Text the word Queens to 31996 so that you're able to receive phone notifications when we go live from time to time. I came to you in peace. I came to you in joy. I came to you giddy because of the extreme honor it is for me to serve you as your sister. And I thank you. I can't wait to see you tomorrow. Mwah. I love you.
Mariah. Mariah is ready.
Down, Deacon. One has
He's writing it down like
a good boy, like a little good boy. He's writing down. Master said, "Sunflower Master." Okay, I'm gonna read that book. Why don't you have him read Deuteronomy 28? Okay, I'll read Sunflower. Why don't you read Deuteronomy 28? What is this? Crazy. Sunflower. Okay, Sunflower. God, this is bad, man.
Hey, the water, brother Patrick, how about you?
You could probably teach the course eventually on the sunflower because it's about everything.
No, listen. If Nick Cannon teaches a course on Jewish studies in reference to your people, he's Kanye. He has now transcended Kanye West, and we're done with him. He's not even black no more. At that point, because this is already disgusting. If he does this, he has a sugar factory. He got a lot of sugar factories all over the world. There's a little restaurant. I'm sure there'll be what's it called? Incendiary practices. Let's see if I can look that up. I'm spelling this all wrong. I can't even spell it right now, man. It's escaping my mind. Who in here is smart? Who in here took college? What's the term? What's the term where you burn down people's businesses?
Incinerary.
Incendiary.
Incinerary. I don't think there's a D in it.
Let's see who's smart in the chat. Incendiary. There you go. Incendiary.
Okay, yeah. Like incendiary rounds. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
They're gonna click that. These niggas couldn't even spell incendiary.
Incendiary, right? Incendiary practices designed to cause fires. Listen, Nick, if you teach a Jewish course, man, pertaining to this guy's people in history, incendiary practices towards your damn sugar factory buildings, man. I ain't saying I'm gonna do it, but I know the people are mad, man. They might want to do it. Hey, white people might do it.
And Mosiah said, upon the wicked he shall rain fire and brimstone.
You see?
That's an incendiary practice.
We talked about yesterday.
Right.
It's a real story. Mr. Wiesenthal was in 6 camps during the war. I think this is...
I can't get one Bible verse. I can't get one suggestion to bring the two communities together. The white Jews and the black Jews.
So, again, y'all, the question that Cannon asked this man was, why is there a division between our two communities? This dude starts talking about some sunflowers. What does this have to do with the question? I mean, he's dancing. I didn't know Jewish people could dance like, I'm talking about digging the Jewish dances. I didn't know they could dance like that.
Right. Okay, so let's...
The 4th one. And one day he was called out of line with Coley Appel. You're lined up. You can stand there for hours. The Nazis did it just, to torture people.
Right.
And they took him and they brought him into a field full of sunflowers. It was a field hospital, big tent. Goes into a tent. And there is someone who's dying of their injuries. Turns out it's an SS officer. And he said, I want to see a Jew, I want to confess, and I want to be, I want someone who's Jewish to accept my apologies for what I did before I go to the next world. I want to...
See, look, here's the problem. I thought he was going to get on here and prove that they were the Jews, according to history, archaeology, and prophecy. Because that's what Nick Cannon said. He said, they are the fake Jews and we are the real Jews. I'm thinking that this guy's going to get on here and prove that they are the Jews according to the prophecy, according to the curses, according to the blessings, according to history, according to archaeology. 30 minutes in, he's not doing that. And I can see
clearly that he probably won't do it.
I mean, Deacon, this dude said the torture they had to sustain. They were forced to stand for hours in a sunflower field. Do you understand what we had to do in a cotton field? Again, Deacon, may I please show this picture, man?
Go ahead.
I have to show this picture. Where is it at? Let me show you. Want to talk about a damn sunflower field, and people had to stand in the sunflower field. Oh, how horrible! You're standing in a sunflower field. Let me show you something way worse than some punk ass sunflower field, man. Sunflower field. How about this field? How about this right here? Huh? Why don't we talk about that level of hatred? That's a baby picking cotton. But I'm supposed to, believe this Jewish man and how hard his people have it when they own a quarter of the NFL and half the NBA. Run Hollywood, run the media, everything belongs to them. But, let's forget about this right here, right? Goddamn forgetting about that right there. The Most High ain't gonna forget about it. So Nick Cannon, you can coon all you want to, and whatever your name is, Mr. Cooper, you're not a real Jew. Atalo Yehudi, Atalo Mamzir, Hashatan, you're the devil. You're not a real Jew. You are a Semite, but you don't go from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You go from Abraham, Isaac, and Esau, and your people are gonna pay for what you've done to my people. Period. And I'll tell you that. Nick Cannon won't tell you that, but we will tell you that. Israelites will.
All praises. So I'm gonna show you guys something because we reached our 2-hour mark. We're gonna finish on this. We'll debate anybody. Just tell them to email us. We're at our 2-hour mark. We're gonna finish this tape session tomorrow, Lord willing. But for now, we have a premiere going on in 2 minutes on the Sakari main channel. Israelites take over College Park, Atlanta, where we shut down College Park through the Spirit with multiple camps. 100 men descended on College Park and did the work, man. That's what it's all about. Didn't back down, told the devil he was the devil to his goddamn face. All right, so this is coming on in 1 minute. I need you guys to go over here and support. And we will see you guys on this channel, Deacon Sakari, to finish this tape session tomorrow about 7 p.m. Eastern time. So with that, I'm going to say thank y'all for coming out. Again, we give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Shem Shai. Until next time, go check out that Nick Cannon diss as well. Matter of fact, let me end it with this Nick Cannon diss. Let's end it with this Nick Cannon diss that we did on him. Let's end it with this. Sakari. Yeah, Deacon Sakari. Hebrew Israelites. Unapologetic, man. We don't bow down. Nick Coonan is you tough when you frail. Act like you bow when you tuck in your tail. You be mad, had enough of this hell. We are the ones getting cuffed in the cell. We revolutionaries and we working tireless. Now I can see exactly why Mariah left. Ain't in the game, you just give it a black guy. Use your ass and they called you the bad guy. Sit back, watch you drown when you capsize. Kissing they ass while you sit with a rabbi. That nigga want egg short of an omelet. He act like he's smart as he wearing a body. And Nick with his cannon got 10 of them clips. Apologizing on some feminine shit. Got breakdowns. I can send you the scripts. That apology worse than the Eminem diss. You said they raped, robbed, and killed and survived. They do. Went straight to your IG and apologize. I gotta win, they can't pay me to lose. Everyone mad cause you say we the Jews. They wasn't mad when we said we was timid. That's how I know that this nation is finished. You got
Bullets gon' shatter a ligament, token the book, but they can't Jay in a box for the menace, and young folks just came for the knocks, go spin again. At the Reggie can't see what the difference is. Perk got me nervous, and Jason, I'm taking it. JCC a plane, he taking it. Why through Chevy, they split the dividends. Bullets gon' shatter a ligament, token the book, but they can't Jay in a box for the menace, and young folks just came for the knocks, go spin again. At the Reggie can't see what the difference is. Perk got me nervous, and Jason, I'm taking it. JCC a plane, he taking it. Why through Chevy, they split the dividends. We keep the knocks in the beam, and dropping Queens, we flocking the theaters. Free flea on Jets, the Reaper, Creeper, booting and turning my speakers. Link up, she a believer. Shorty gon' kick it like FIFA, feeding the meters. Drip got me leaking, GB a reason. I see the Jakes, I'ma leave him. We don't know Sosa Geek. Sicky keep knocking, he close to me. Missed this top, made his shoulder bleed. 40 clip hang like a rosary. Cole Brown, that's the Joe boy. Spin through the option, I might hit a coke boy. Hit coach, that's the ghost, no Rolls Royce. Stay in the chair, that's folks, she got no choice. I see an eye, I'ma chase him, it's no script, that's what situations. I've been on this app waiting, breaching, put on your head, you a patient. Folks in the drop top speeding, opt out passenger, kids stop cheesing. Funds play, they not freezing, stupid bitch drop the top, let the breezing. Bullets gon' shatter a ligament, token the book, but they chat, predicaments. Jay in a box for the menace, and young folks just came for the knocks, go spin again. At the Reggie can't see what the difference is. Perk got me nervous, he Jason, I'm taking it. JCC a plane, he digging it. Why through Chevy, they split the dividends. Bullets gon' shatter a ligament, token the book, but they chat, predicaments. Jay in a box for the menace, and young folks just came for the knocks, go spin again. At the Reggie can't see what the difference is. Perk got me nervous, he Jason, I'm taking it. JCC a plane, he digging it. Why through Chevy, they split the dividends.
In the bike, I'm mad, Mac, in the door with a stash at.
My booties, they spinning shit, know they ain't missing shit, that's what they want to. I don't wanna know you, kick me to touchy and social. Cold roller can smoke you, you get split with your bro too. They said they gon' show you, they went from Garvey to Global.
Geico gets you access to licensed agents 24/7, which means that Geico is always there for you. If only everyone was always there for you, like your mom, when you fill out really, really important paperwork on the first day of a new job.
Name, check. Birthday, social security, is that a thing? Hey, Mom, what is my social security number? Mom, okay, let's guess. 0017. Oh, Gemini. Hashtag done.
Geico, always there for you with savings and 24/7 access to licensed agents.
Angel on the board.
Drop out, watch for pothole. It's fast call by toll and drop slow. We keep the knocks in the Tahoe. See me in action, no shoe, my eyes closed. When the window drop, bodies out too. Shout out to fresh, gon' guns in the booth. See the demons jump out of that coupe. 357 don't flame when I shoot. I'ma show how fast the life is. Whole thing shooting shit like a cipher. I just might turn to a lifer. Digging the jakes, go park at a hydrant. Whole gang evil, we fasting. See me in traffic, don't lack when I'm passing. Free tables making distractions. And we parolees with bands in our mattress.
Kick works, you know that's the get back. Texting my group, but it's not for the chit chat. Brand new clip, bullets mismatch. Too many shots, you don't know where he hit at. My older gon' do it for free. Get capped like a 6, I might call Monty G's. This 40 gon' kick like a beat. Welly away overnight for the breeze. Now she wanna get it the fast way. She know these niggas is mad fake. I could call Rose a rampage. Clip with an Ike in the ashtray. I slapped this wife on my bad day. She always lurk on my fan page. Knocks around, you know how gameplay. Get shot, you step on this landscape.
Kick them over the piece to social. And I just made a little bridge you're opposed to. Daddy Spice do what he supposed to. Whole lot of knocks in this crib I parole to. This 40 gon' bump like the beat. You know what that mean? We in the stew in the street. Them demons keep spinning and spinning, so don't get surprised when them shots will repeat. And I don't even know what to think. Might go to the bank and then take a shortcut. And just send me my birdie. Don't even do splitty. I won't take a shortcut. And we gon' hop at the V. Don't cap with your team. Gon' flock where you post up. And it's just me and Balessi do drugs to rent it without moving more sus.
3 a.m. up for the cash out. PO just lit, so I might gotta max out. Oldest breach, I'ma back out. Brand new V formatic when I backed out. They knows for spinning and blocks. She won't kick me to piece cause she know we the ops. At Welly, they know me for drops. She gon' walk in the spot cause she know that I'm hot.
spot. See the oldies hanging out of that coupe. Beam on the joint, help me out when I shoot. Hey, lately I'm not in the mood. Don't hit my line if it's not for some food. And I don't even know what to do. Hit the bank of the stew in the booth for my piece hit. All these deposits reaching. Get to the breach and I flip it with demons.
Drop out, multiple pothole, expect call about home and drop low. We keep a knock in the Tahoe, see me in action, no shoot, my eyes closed. When the window drop bodies out too, shout the fresh, you broke guns in the booth. See the demons jump out of that coupe, 357 don't play when I shoot. See the oldies hanging out of that coupe, beam on the joint, help me out when I shoot. And lately I'm not in the mood, don't hit my line if it's not for some food. And I don't even know what to do, hit the bank of the stew in the booth for my piece hit. All these deposits reaching, get to the breach and I flip it with demons.
Okay. 4B, stupid. I used to spin on the scooter. I let them talk, niggas be losers. I see a folk, focus in the cooler. Spice boy, ain't no cooler. I just be teaching, just call me a tutor. Niggas be saying free niggas for viewers. Free all my niggas touch money to move. Gang with me, they already know no lanes with me. Glock with a 30 them things with me. You ain't getting breath, can't hang with me. Facts, gang with me, they already know no lanes with me. Glock with a 30 them things with me. You ain't getting breath, can't hang with me. Drippin'. We get to drop the pro handle, clip them, lift them. I've been chillin'. I left shit in the past, but niggas still mindin' my business. Ain't no winners. You dropping my hat, I'm dropping you right in your building. I put the pill cause I don't wanna feel it. Niggas be rich, so no for the bitch. That's why my circle small like a dot. They don't get no green, they don't tote no Glock. They just fuck that heat and they throw no shots. They don't spin my way, they don't spin no blocks like wait. Holding your head like a cherry, you talking some shit out your niggas do, don't say bro name. I saw little bro to get rid of you, daddy, you over a pillow to bro, these legs. 3 minute wheels we spinning through, woken up, nigga ain't dumping our vehicles. Bitch, when the fuck about had this hysterical. You would get shot like a devil's hysterical. This shit is pitiful. My niggas lyrical. Bet not, nigga, I just had to get physical. This what the niggas do spoon, we really do bait. We gon' attack, tell them sit back, spin it, we doing some laps. Flock in the back, top out the strap, free stuff in my spice coming back. And we chasing racks, my spice in the stool. We all tryna make it in rap, so go to the chat. Cause we play with 50 non-straps, hey. 4B, stupid. I used to spin on the scooter. I let them talk, niggas be losers. I see a folk, office in the doula. Spice boy, ain't no cooler. I just be teaching, just call me a tutor. Niggas be saying free niggas for viewers. Free all my niggas touch money to move. Gang with me, they already know no lanes with me. Glock with a 30 them things with me. You ain't getting breath, can't hang with me.
Gang with me. They already know no lanes with me. Glock with a 30 of things with me. You ain't getting breath, can't hang with me.
For being stupid. I used to spill in the scooter. Take high. Bitch, spice. Spice boy for L, you know I'm about
Smash, smash, smash. Okay. For beat, stupid. I used to spit on the scooter. I let them talk, niggas be losers. I see a folk, focus on the cooler. Spice boy, ain't no cooler. I just be teaching, just call me a jeweler. Niggas be saying free niggas for viewers. Free all my niggas has money to move. Gang with me, they already know no lanes with me. Glock with a 30 of things with me. You ain't getting breath, can't hang with me. Facts. Gang with me, they already know no lanes with me. Glock with a 30 of things with me. You ain't getting breath, can't hang with me. Drippin'. We get to drop the pro hit 'em, clip 'em, lift 'em. I've been chillin'. I left shit in the past, but niggas still minding my business. Ain't no winners. You dropping my hat, I'm dropping you right in the building. I bought the pill cause I don't wanna feel it. Niggas be weird, so I know for the bitch. That's why my circle roll small like a dot. They don't get no green, they don't tote no block. Niggas felt that heat and they throw no shots. They don't spin my way, they don't spin no blocks. Like wait, holding your head like a cherry. You talking some shit out your niggas do, don't say bro name. I solo bro to get rid of you. Daddy, he offer a pillow to bro, these legs. 3 minutes we spinning through, woken up, nigga ain't dumping our vehicles. Bitch wanna fuck about head is mystical. You would get shot like a deficit hysterical. This shit is pitiful. My nigga is lyrical. Bet not, nigga, I just had to get physical. This what the niggas do spoon, we really do wait. We gon' attack, tell them sit back, spin it, we doing some laps. Flock in the back, chop out the strap, free stuff in my spice coming back. And we chasing racks, my spice in the stool. We all tryna make it irrational. Go to the chat. Cause we play with 50 non-straps. Hey. 4B, stupid. I used to spin on the scooter. I let them talk, niggas be losers. I see a folk, office in the doula. Spice boy, ain't no cooler. I should be teaching, just call me a tutor. Niggas be saying free niggas for viewers. Free all my niggas touch money to move. Gang with me. They already know no lanes with me. Clock with a 30 of things with me. You ain't getting breath, can't hang with me. Gang with me. They already know no lanes with me. Clock with a 30 of things with me. You ain't getting breath, can't hang with me.
for being stupid. I used to spill in the scooter. Take high. Bitch, spice. Spice boy for L, you know I'm about
It's YouTube Music. Download the app today and get a trial of Music Premium on us. Restrictions apply.
Fast way. Money on tables, I got killers on my posse. Uda unstable, think drilling a hobby. He just gon' air out the lobby. Digging the jakes and then check my body. Watch how I treat a thotty. Dripping the track and then make a deposit. Make a deposit, check my body. Money on tables, I got killers on my posse. Uda unstable, think drilling a hobby. He just gon' air out the lobby. Digging the jakes and then check my body. Watch how I treat a thotty. Dripping the track and then make a deposit. Make a deposit, check my body. Tell her to sell me the back end, baby, my dick in the stack shit. Your whole gang know for the lack until Dottie TP, I'ma clap him. We in the field, we active. GT with me, too savage. On Bristol with Chris, I was stacking. GT with me, too savage. Outside, watch out for red lights. Go make a right and then turn off the headlights. Might get a back if the head right. Make a U-turn if you showing some sign of life. I make a promise he down tonight. Bullets explosive, they blown like dynamite. Drop out, but I might hop out. Tell him free chase, took 10 on the cop out. And I told Fleet not to cop out. Tay was medicine, so as he lock out. Mr. Chody, I seen him in downstate. Piece him the G and break bread with the pound cake. Free J-List spray, he was heavy on pound steak. Finna y'all catch your obby, get shot, hit the box and then call and see what the town say. Free J-List spray. Big folks, big steppers. Let me show you my profession. Hit tape for the reference. Tell him quick, fast, hurry, check it. Christian Dior, my essence. Stupid nigga lack for a beverage. It must have been good how they left him. Couple of G's made breakfast, stop at Goldie, had to check in. I'm with Siggy Revolvo 6 on my side, got 7. Money on tables, I got killers on my posse. Uda unstable, think drilling a hobby. He just gon' air out the lobby, digging the jakes and then sharing my body. Watch how I treat a thotty, dripping a track and then make a deposit. My body. Money on tables, I got killers on my posse. Uda unstable, think drilling a hobby. He just gon' air out the lobby, digging the jakes and then sharing my body. Watch how I treat a thotty, dripping a track and then make a deposit. My body. We don't know Sosaki. Siggy keep knocking, he close to me. Mr. Scott made his shoulder bleed. 40 can hang like a rosary. Cole Brown is the chill boy. Spin through the ops, I might hit a coke boy. Hit coach as it goes, no Rolls Royce. Stay in the chair, that's folks, he got no choice. I see an eye, I'ma chase him. There's no structure, that's for all situations.
Beats by Malice.
I don't got no safety, baby. When she steppin', she gonna get naked, baby. I cannot like it, that 80, baby. When we slide up, it's gonna get shady, baby. I gotta put back, talk the grip. Niggas ain't really your shit. Henny, we got bad lid. That niggas is all in the air. I don't got no safety, baby. When she steppin', she gonna get naked, baby. I cannot like it, that 80, baby. When we slide up, it's gonna get shady, baby. I gotta put back, talk the grip. Niggas ain't really your shit. Henny, we got bad lid. That niggas is all in the air. No, they cannot compare. We pull up, them shots gon' flare. Don't run up, get put in that in, so fuck up. Little boy, don't dare, I'll make you special. Took her real tough on the net too. When I said through, y'all niggas was jet fuels. Jot Jeezy could've got left too. And that's word of my mother. Niggas was sliding and slipping like butter. Can't fuck with me, I don't fuck with no others. Picking and choosing, get shot from my brothers. Fuck that, I don't really care what you say. You could get shot in your face for disrespecting all of the game. Niggas say that always because the shit I say is insane. Creep up on them, give them a fake. Don't give no fucks, leave them in pain. Poetry, now I meditate. This shit is funny, niggas is fake. Gotta watch back and niggas is gay, but I stay moving tag, I won't parlay. Gotta keep getting back, this shit in my veins. I don't got no safety, baby. When she stopping, she gonna get naked, baby. I cannot like you, that 80, baby. When we slide up, it's gonna get shady, baby. I gotta pull up in, talk the grip. Niggas ain't really your shit. Henny, we got bad lid. That niggas is all in the air. I don't got no safety, baby. When she stepping, she gonna get naked, baby. I cannot like you, that 80, baby. When we slide up, it's gonna get shady, baby. I gotta pull up in, talk the grip. Niggas ain't really your shit. Henny, we got bad lid. That niggas is all in the air. Fuck it, yeah, nigga. What this niggas talking about?
That's on that beat.
It's first thing mad, I'm back now. No joking, nigga. No class count, no exposed, nigga. Hold back down, no see it, nigga. Split background. We a spot a nigga do greasy, nigga. Need a bad bitch like free, kick works, that T, send room, flat beat. No sit shots, no reason, look. No bend blocks, keep repeating, look. Flow shots, still breathing, look. He gasping, he breathing, look. Bro savage, keep squeezing, look. Get back out of it, better. Don't wanna see roll back sweater. Ain't this way, shit no better. It ain't looking so. This and us is what they fucking know. Got a big clout, but it's tummy talk. We said pretty shots, they can't dump it up. Catch a pretty shot, let's go fuck them up. They heard pretty shots, and they go for martial arts. Kick back, but I'm still enough. If the gun jam, they don't last low. If the gun jam, then it's assassin low. They don't wanna see fresh get rowdy. Go broke, I'ma flip that county. Got your wound get whipped like bounty. She cute, she thick like brownie. I kill my dip, can't find me. Nah, my block hot like brownies. I'll go out my way, class me. Don't spend my block with flossy. You peep, you know that I'm doing it. Look at him, I'm open. Go down low, perks, he rolling. Don't see no cops, keep going. Yo, you weak, I don't know why you laughing. You niggas can't eat, we fasting. They don't wanna still be when it's flashing. The bitch wanna roll, no relaxing. Pull up and turn on to something. I ain't hear no knock, keep roping. Move over, I'ma show up the function. These niggas, I see how we coming. Look at him quick, he running. He ain't staying if you think that he starting. Coach, I ain't over the height. These niggas, I see how we coming. Yo, you picking up speed, get faster. Look, that shit really feel this for laughter. He was talking that shit straight channel. Catch your eye and get whipped like battle. I can bitch my shit when you fatter. Nah, I don't even know what I'd rather. Don't play with the cuz we gather. These niggas really full me with laughter. Look at that boy, he fast. He see you boy run like flash. See Lusty did that dash. I don't care, get on his ass. Yeah, that looking so when I touching us, really fucking up. You want one of mine, you take a order for on the block, baby, I'm with the cash out. We can link up, but don't pin me on Snapchat. Hit it once and then after I pass that flashback. I hit it twice cause I asked that. When the feature, then I gotta tax that. No linking up, you can send it through cash app. That's I've got turned to a hashtag. Other one win, this flip nigga pass that. These niggas be goofy. Trying to spin through my block and it's go be a movie. I saw up in this toolie, no running them hollow to break through them brand new Kasubi. I'm on the block like JaVale McGee. Every time I see the op, these bitch niggas run for it. They can't no nigga come for me. Hollow just fly fast and they sting like a bumblebee. Ain't the way niggas done for. You ain't go shoot shit. What the fuck you got a gun for? If that's a man's what you run for. I only need one shot, but for you, here's one more. Trying to play, you don't know what's up. Something shot in and out, have a little nigga throwing up. You not G, don't throw it up. Be outside every day, every night, straight going up. If it's beef, we can bang it out. Niggas really on my dick, I don't know what they hate about. You got a gun, nigga, take it out. And if you missed, then it's lit, so you know you better make it count. Be on court like a ball game. Be outside 24, no 7, that's all day. On the block or the hallway. Red dot like Target and hit him from long range. I'm a whole different breed from niggas. Every time we spend payments, it's like we don't see them niggas. Run up and pin 3 a nigga. Then dip off the scene to make sure nobody seen a nigga. It's a difference between us and them niggas that's dissing. I have fresh, you make niggas go missing. 357 revolves, start spinning. The niggas skipping. I'm a different breed. Stop the dick body, get a new pair of knees. I'm the bleak, you don't think that I'm not so sweet. All these people, ain't nobody touching me. Niggas hella sweet.
Geico knows there are many reasons why you ride. From the thrill of the revving engine and pure adrenaline of flying down the highway to the confidence of knowing that Geico always has your back with 24/7 access to claim service. But Ari Snyder has one reason in particular.
I have extremely large upper arms. They won't even fit into most shirts. Thankfully, biking really embraces vest culture, so I feel accepted.
Geico Motorcycle. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
Gang, gang, gang. Gang, gang, gang. Bow! I heard them niggas won't beat. Sugar Hill, we get the money. You'll be running the street. 2 chops with 2 shots. So please not run up on me. Don't run up and try and take some from me. My shooter, he's scoring from deep. Or he passing assistance to me. She like, eat out, baby. You that little nigga that drum me so crazy. Got me in your thing, feel so amazing. He trying to fumble, who is he taming like? What? Spinning his son up, putting it damage. 3 bad blocks, that's what the panic. He tried to run and got hit with a cannon like 14, I went up in that truck. 9 cops and that nigga off the map. He got hit, his body fell flat. Paramedics, they come and red flag. And I'm on some old shit. Little thigh in the cut, she sucking the whole dick. Little nigga, you know this. I keep me a chop, cause no, I can't go bitch. Why shit get real sticky? I fuck with some O's, bitch, and I fuck with some real crippy. Gang, 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 nigga. I said, bitch, 2, 3 shots, I'm ready to fuck. Little boy running up, I'm up in the chop. Spent they block me, bent they block. Little niggas still hopping and talking the cops. Like, these niggas be frontin'. Gang, they talking the book, but they ain't with none. Like, bitch, gang in the spot, get daddy, but shit get heavy. Tell her to stop to the telly, ending up in the belly. Like, oh shit, they call me eater. If I run up, I'm letting like 3 front like, bitch, get sturdy. Baby, I'm done up, I'm going for Yerky. There's no mercy, but Ace in the car, ain't moving Fergie, shooting like Curry. If I come out the cut, this shit get blurry with this 30. I'm dumping the clip. Me and my niggas is shooting off rip. Watch it, watch it,
It's a sacrifice. Talking on it, that is homicide. The demons that's inside. To this day, I'm asking Jesus why my brother not by my side? It's a sacrifice. It's a sacrifice.
Nigga, drop the structure, nigga, with your hands, nigga. Say structure K, nigga. Stop coming, nigga. Niggas are leaking you, nigga. What's good with you, boy? Come on, kid. Yo, why you moving away? Pull up. Pull up. Get in. Stop playing me. Chappelle, nigga.
Niggas know just where to find. Shoot an engine for a hobby. Ain't them niggas jacking baby K. Know exactly where to find me. And it's paid 2-3K. 2 to 3s right beside me. I just bought a bunch of blue tips. Shots ripping through his body. He just stalled super side me. All I play is offense. He was jacking baby K. Come and make. Geico shows there are many reasons why you probably lose from the thrill of the revving engine and pure adrenaline of flying down.
That's on that beat.
Risky K.
Run up in the spot with a breeze shot. We in the rented with 3 straps. Faster than trolling where we at. 30 fat don't make you lean back. Pull up, we exhaust the extortion. Dottie maxed up for a portion. Don't make my shooter go fox. If I spin it, end up in a palm box. Got some hats in the X, we got mob ties. Richie pull up and let shots fire. Bitch, we got knocks and we outside. Better be lucky you got by. Told them watch out for the get back. I went to jail, it's a setback. Amiri and Gucci shit mix match. I'ma get money, just sit back. Me, Chris and Valencia on all handshake, get shot. You step on this landscape. Treat y'all up on my fan base. Kick me to top to the Welly and Jace. I cannot end up in last place. Ain't no skills for your moolah the campaign. You will get popped like some champagne. Hurry girl left in a Rory with fast gang. They know it's for sprinting them avenues. She gon' kick me a piece when she mad at you. I only did what I had to. Houdini would cause my deposits is magical. You could tell these ain't no average. Gotti talking like a lateral. Like why they brought all them ratchets? Why do they moving so tactical? Like who that, you that, woo back. My niggas don't do that, shoot that. Y'all got guns, don't use that. True fact, shoot back. Y'all don't do that. I'm on T for the piece with 2 straps. Chris about to toss out, move back. You don't come with a stick like a pool rag. Used to have shootouts where they used to.
I don't fuck with sports, I love catching a penalty. Jacket people, my man's your enemy. Put the chop in my hands is a killer spree. I had to pop a little perk for the energy. I don't fuck you not a fan of my verses, you're catching. Got the knock up pants, her purse, her jacket. Pull up on you like fuck you, Jack. Never fight with a fool, just back with the ratchet. You a G hit a 6, better pick a few. MIS stay on time, quick to get at you. Cause the lead on the scene is getting critical. If you smoking my dead, then I'm killing you. Stop a beat and go flock at the dammers. Bitches smoking and sucking the scammers. I ain't spinning my block with no hammer. Last nigga got shot up on camera.
I pop a perk, now I'm off beat. Amiri, I throwing an off-white. We doing foul free offside. I got the 40 and short from court side. Go broke, then I'm robbing the dice game. And we take no chance, we dig when the lights came. Got a bad little bitch and see light skin. Walk in the party, we getting them pipes in. Had to free bro for that weapon. That's his first, it's my second. I ain't worried about a sentence, but my web posted in second. It's either clear or independent. How about the foreign? I'm staring and bending. Weapon passed to her best friend. G's by Mary Tesla the engine. Weapon passed to her best friend. G's by Mary Tesla the
Your man got shot, now he walk with a limp. Little bitch, shit pop, said I walk like a pimp. God giving me top, try fuck up a friend. Right past me the chop, throw the gloves on my hand. Then that boy got shot, I took all his bands. Had to dip on the cops, that was part of the plan. Little nigga moving hot, shot him and his friends. Free all of the bros, free T out the pen. Little nigga moving hot, shot him and his friends. Free all of the bros, free T out the pen.
If you ever wanted to know what $21,000 looks like in a single month, this is what it
Risky K.
Run up in the spot with a breeze at. We in the rented with 3 straps. Faster than trolling where we at. 30 fat don't make you lean back. Pull up, we exhaust the extortion. Dottie maxed up for a portion. Don't make my shooter go fox. If I spin it, end up in a palm box. Got some hats in the X, we got mob ties. Ricky pull up and let shots fire. Bitch, we got knocks when we outside. Better be lucky you got by. Told them watch out for the get back. I went to jail, it's a setback. Amiri and Gucci shit mix match. I'ma get money, just sit back. Me, Chris and Valencia on all handshake, get shot. You step on this landscape. Treat y'all up on my fan base. Kick me to touch it, Welly and Chase. I cannot end up in last place. Ain't no still for your moolah the campaign. You will get popped like some champagne. Hurry girl left in a Rory with fast game.
They know it's for spinning them avenues. She gon' kick me a piece when she mad at you. I only did what I had to. Houdini would cause my deposits is magical. You could tell these ain't no average. You got tossing like a lateral. Like why they brought all them ratchets to? Why do they move it so tactical? Like who that, you that, woo back. My niggas don't do that, shoot that. Y'all got guns, don't use that. True fact, shoot back. Y'all don't do that. I'm on T for the piece with 2 straps. Chris about to toss out, move back. Don't come with a stick like a pool rag. Used to have true, that's what they used to do.
I don't fuck with sports, I love cash and a penalty. That could be my man's your enemy. But the top of my hands is a killer spree. I had to pop a little perk for the energy. I don't fuck not a fan of my verses, you're catching. Got to knock her pants, her purse, her jacket. Straight pull up on you like fuck you, Jack. Never fight with a fool, just back with the ratchet. G hit a 6, better pick a few. MIS stay up top, quick to get at you. Chris the lead on the scene is getting critical. If you smoke my dead, then I'm killing you. Stop a beat and go flock at the dammers. Bitches fucking and sucking the scammers. I ain't spinning my block with no hammer. Last nigga got shot up on camera.
I pop a perk, now I'm off beat. Amiri, I throwing an off-white. We doing foul, we offside. I got the 40 and shoot off from court side. Go broke down, robbing the dice game. And we take no chance, we dig when the lights game. Got a bad little bitch and see light skin. Walk in the party, we getting them pipes in.
Had to free bro for that weapon. That's his first, it's my second. I ain't worried about a sentence, but my will post it in second. It's either clear or independent. How about the foreign? I'm staring and bending. Weapon passed to her best friend. Jeans by Mary, Tesla the engine. Weapon passed to her best friend. Jeans by Mary, Tesla the
Your man
engine.
got shot, now he walk with a limp, little bitch. Shit, Bob said I walk like a pimp. God giving me top. Y'all fuck up a friend. Right past me the chop, throw the gloves on my hand. Then that boy got shot. I took all his pants, had to dip on the cops. That was part of the plan. Little nigga moving hot, shot him and his friends. Free all of the bros, free T out the pen. Little nigga moving hot, shot him and his friends. Free all of the bros, free T out the pen.
Bullets gon' shatter a ligament, talking the book, but they chat. They catch them in chain, a box for the medicine. Young folks just came for the knocks, go spin again. At the Reggie, can't see what the difference is. Perk got me nervous, and Jason, I'm taking it. JCC, I'm playing, he taking it. Why do shit with it? Split the dividends. Bullets gon' shatter a ligament, talking the book, but they chat. Predicaments, chain, a box for the medicine. Young folks just came for the knocks, go spin again. At the Reggie, can't see what the difference is. Perk got me nervous, and Jason, I'm taking it. JCC, I'm playing, he taking it. Why do shit with it? Split the dividends. We keep the knocks in the beam, and dropping them queens, we flocking the theaters. Free flea on G, the reaper, creeper, booting and turning my speakers. Link up, she a believer. Shorty gon' kick it like FIFA, feeding the meters. Drip got me leaking, GB a reason. I see the checks, I'ma leave it. We don't know Sosagi. Sicky keep knocking, he close to me. Missed this top, made his shoulder bleed. 40 clip hang like a rosary. Cole Brown is the Joe boy. Spin through the option, I might hit a coke. Hit coach, that's the ghost, no Rolls Royce. He in the chair, that's folks, he got no choice. I see an eye, I'ma chase him. There's no structure, that's for all situations. I've been on this app waiting, breach and put on your head to a patient. Folks in the drop top speed and opt out passion, they can't stop cheesing. It ain't not freezing, stupid bitch drop out, let the breeze. Bullets gon' shatter a ligament, talking the book, but they chat. They chain in a box for the medicine. Young folks just came for the knocks, go spin again. At the Reggie, can't see what the difference is. Perk got me nervous, he Jason, I'm taking it. JCC a pain, he digging it. Why you champion, split the dividends. Bullets gon' shatter a ligament, talking the book, but they chat. Chain in a box for the medicine. Young folks just came for the knocks, go spin again. At the Reggie, can't see what the difference is. Perk got me nervous, he Jason, I'm taking it. JCC a pain, he digging it. Why you champion, split the dividends.
Been a bike, I'm mad, Mac. Kicking the door with a stash at.
My booties, they spinning shit. No, they ain't missing shit. That's what they won't do. I don't wanna know you. Kick me to touchy and social. Cold roller come smoke you. You get split with your bro too. They said they gon' show you. They went from Garvey to Global.
Wawa, your morning routine just got better. $1 coffee is back, and we're introducing our limited edition Blueberry Cobbler coffee. So stop in or order ahead with the Wawa mobile app. Enjoy any size Wawa coffee for $1.
Angel on the board.
Drop out, watch for pothole. It's fast call by toll, and drop slow. We keep the knocks in the Tahoe. See me in action, no shoe, my eyes closed. When the window drop, bodies out too. Shout out to fresh, you guns in the booth. See the demons jump out of that coupe. 357 don't flame when I shoot. I'ma show how fast the life is. Whole game shooting shit like a cipher. I just might turn to a lifer. Digging the jakes, go park at a hydrant. Whole game evil, we fasting. See me in traffic, don't lack when I'm passing. Pretend you was making distractions. And we parolees with bands in our mattress. Kick works, you know that's the get back. Texting my group, but it's not for the chit chat. Brand new clip, bullets mismatched. Too many shots, you don't know where he hit at. My older gon' do it for free. Get capped like a 6, I might call money G's. This 40 gon' kick like a beat. Welly away overnight for the.
Wait to 36. And then you were with this person and produce a family. What did you do with all? What do these women do? You can look at the women who are the most angry, the most upset, the most sour, the most bitter sounding, and ask them, what have they done with the education, income, and access that they have? What have they done with it? They always want to throw it up in your face, what they got. Okay, but what have you done with it? You got it. You got your Beamer, your Benz, or whatever. You got your house. You got your this. You got all that. You got your Ivy League education. You got your master's. You got all that. What have you done with it? You are no longer in the hood. You over here now. You're in access over here. You're floating in this circle. What have you done with it? What has it netted you? What has it gotten you? And sadly, what has gotten most of them is not what they want. It's not what they want. So, when we look at what 50 Cent said, that he said he likes something exotic. You know what exotic is in the black community? Femininity, submission, cooperation. That's exotic. That's exotic. When you got a brother say, why would I want to get a woman with Brazilian weave? Why don't I just go get a Brazilian woman? You can't fault that. And there are a lot of brothers that feel bad that they would like to kick it with a sister. Matter of fact, in my group, The Mix, I put out a test, just a little test, just a test. And if the guys in my group, The Mix, they're roughly 500, almost 600 people in there now. Roughly 300 men, 300 women, roughly. Well, no, it's more men than women. It's about 4 to 2. The net of it is, I said, guys, are you pro-marriage? Are you for marriage or against marriage? Simply. Gave them 48 hours to respond. Over 258 responses to this date. Only 3 said they don't want marriage. A group of black men who were confident, intelligent, and assertive, who raised their hand and say, I want this one. I want to be in the top 10% into the top 5% of men. I have this kind of mindset. Oh, yes, and I bet I look. Yep. 258 responses. 3. The others, emphatically. Most are emphatic. Yeah, I want to get married and kids and everything else. I want to pay the bills and everything else. Y'all will never see the names. So I laugh when I hear black women, older black women talk about where are all the good men at, where I can't find them, whatever. Well, one of the women in my group found hers in 10 days. And I'm not a matchmaker. The thing is, instead of sitting up there being angry and upset with what high-value black men like Curtis Jackson say they want, why don't you give him what he wants? Instead of trying to get him to change what he wants or make him feel bad for what he wants, because it won't happen. Because no other race of men, high value men, are made to feel guilty or ashamed for their preferences. And black men are starting to shuffle that off. They're not being bothered by it anymore. They're moving on. That stuff stopped working. That had a track that stopped working circa 2005. Y'all are 15 years late. It worked up to 2005. This next Generation X black men, they've gone down the path of marriage, broken relationship, divorce, part-time dad, stepfather, and did everything right. And what black men like myself said, you know what? I paid my dues. And with what I have left in life, I'm going to have a good time and enjoy it. I'm not going to be angry with you. I'm not going to talk bad about you. But when it's all said and done, the women I deal with are going to be feminine, beautiful, inspirational. This was a great call we had today. You hear a bunch of high-value men saying the same thing that was co-signed last night, and you can't say none of these men are bitter, angry. They just know what's up out there. And what are they teaching their sons? Brother said, hey, man, I'd love for you to be able to teach my sons about the power and impact of image. I got him in etiquette. I got him in martial arts, or here, and here. We just sitting here chopping it up. I'm like, I've never met this brother, but he and I are kindred spirits, and I know there are many more guys like him and the men in my group around this country. We are not an anomaly. So you can miss me with the fact of saying that every black man who's a high-value man is self-hating and don't like his mama because he is tired of dealing with lemon-faced, bad attitude, demanding women who don't want to give us what we are asking for. Understand, that's ultimately what it comes down to. You ask us what we want, and we tell you, and you don't want to give it to us. You're capable of giving it to us, but you don't want to. And that's a battle for you and your therapist. It's not something men over here should be worrying about. They should go on to find who wants to give it. Because I'm going to tell you, there are plenty of women wanting to get with these high-value brothers. Plenty. And that's another reason why some of these older black women have such a hard problem with certain kinds of high-value black men. Again, it's only the outspoken ones. If you are a more Obama-like, this kind of middle of the road, let Michelle do the thing, they love you. But those aren't the ones you want. You want the men that produce the outcome that you dislike. So let's get into it. Let's get into it. Look here, if you got a question, if you ask me something in the chat room, you're going to have to put it in super chat if you expect me to see it. There are too many people in here. And do not highlight my name. If you highlight me to get my attention, I will block you. 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 But let's do it.
Oh, fucking
Intermission.
man.
Let's get this money up.
Get the hell out of here, dude.
And if you're average in one group, you cannot go be above average in another group. All right, here's how this is going to go tonight. When you get on the show, you're going to have all the channels in the background shut off. Only be on Zoom. Preferably, you need to be on a headset. Okay? Again, I only have problems with outspoken brothers. Brothers who are outspoken, because the outspoken men actually have other men listening. See, if you were outspoken, but you really were not high value, that really wouldn't be a problem. But it's when you're outspoken and you actually have some gravitas. See, that's what it means to truly be a high value man. A high value man must have gravitas, gravity, must draw other people towards him. That's what produces such a problem with guys like Curtis Jackson. Because whether they like him or not, he has gravitas. Gravitas. So again, I don't know with the way this channel is doing right now. I would not be surprised. I mean, I know Brother Attorney Sperling was actually on a show in Houston, responding to Lonnie Love, and Lonnie Love and those people kind of responded back. Because here's what's happening. People are looking in these spaces. How many of you guys are familiar with, you've heard of Steve Harvey, Derek Jackson, Stephon Lavassier, Tony Gaskins, Ace Metaphor, these kind of folks? They watch these spaces. I was even saying something about the guys over in the Roommates podcast. I'm seeing a lot of their titles that seem to be following a lot of the titles that pop up around here. And something today was Red Pill is the New Woke, which is cool. Watch the content, but have some, when's the collaboration stuff going to start happening? Watching the content, you get one side of it though. When are you going to start reaching out to people who have a more strong a view than Derek Jackson, Stephon Lavassier, Ace Metaphor? When are you going to have those black men? Their voices heard. You've had Rebecca Lynn Poe. The numbers speak for themselves. Because at the end of the day, women are coming into places to where men are. And that's the ultimate issue with a lot of these people who have problems with things that, like I say or some of the other guys are saying. It doesn't matter how I say it. The fact is, there's some women that just are angry. I don't want to say, they just have a problem with black men. It can never be right. Nothing you can ever do is good. And the problem is that you have starting to have women, younger women period, coming over into here, because here's the thing. Whether you are this or that, or level up or date out, the end consumer of the product that is a woman is a man. And if you got all this theory and mindset for women and there are no men picking them up, getting them, coupling and moving on, means nothing. So let's get into it. You said, where the high value women at? Behind that preposition. Behind that preposition. The high value women would see that statement and be like, ah. See, well, I listened to what 50 said. I listened to what Curtis Jackson said, and it wasn't insulting. He was stating his preference. And the thing is, why not just say, if this is what men like him want, and if I want a man like him, you're going to have to give him what he wants. I have yet to hear women in mass, when you hear a lot of sisters, especially older sisters, say black men say we're angry, we're this, we're that, we're hard to cooperate with, we're not submissive. All right. Then if you hear this, why don't you become that? You hear what, it's not as though you don't hear what these guys are saying they want. Let's just be real. You don't feel as though you have to give it to them. Because far too many women in our culture feel as though they're above the men. This is a culture thing. More than a race thing, it's a culture thing. You don't have to respect. You can say, I'll respect my man and I'll submit to my man. Yeah, but you'll give every other man in the culture your butt to kiss. And that's not how this thing works. And sadly, while you have between 16 and 29, men have between 18 and 90. What are you going to do? Because it's not as though he said something wrong or was being overly rude. But if he decides he wants to go down the path and do something different, he has the option. So that's most. Hey man, you can't type in all caps, man. You can't type in all caps; it'll time you out. Hey man, if you come in here typing in all caps, Wallace, type like you have some sense, man. You're gonna have to go. You love Derek Jackson? Okay, cool. Enjoy. Look, man, I don't have problems with people. I don't have a problem with if you like somebody's content. I think some of the things he says is dangerous to women, especially older women. They aren't getting on tonight. They're like, oh, I don't want that part. So, what else was I going to say? I was listening to, I'm not going to say the woman, but I want to get back to this other part. Older women, and when I talk about older women, we're talking about from a marriage standpoint. That means women over 30. 30 years old is old to be contemplating a first marriage. Go to matchmakers, wedding planners, anybody will tell you that's just what it is. It's old to be planning a wedding. Okay? Like I said, we got to start calling things what they are. And again, I heard a woman talking about the wall, that men hit the wall too, and how, if you're a Black woman, the wall isn't the wall for you. This notion that you can make up rules to suit you is because notice how when women like this begin to speak, they want to change things because they've aged past. When you still have time, you don't care. If you're 22, somebody says the wall, you're not really sweating it. But when you're 29 and somebody says the wall, then you got a problem with the concept of the wall. Why? Because you've wasted those years. The wall exists for a reason. The wall exists for a reason. Derek Jackson graduated high school in 2007. Yeah, that's another thing. I gotta say, I'm looking at you women with a side eye who really listen to what he says. He just turned 30. And especially older women listening to him, you should know better. The women that can listen to him, really, if they were in their teens to early 20s, sure. There's no way a guy who just turned 30 can tell you anything. Not for the entirety of women. Let me say that. The wall. I mean, I heard this woman say, you're just wrong about the wall, and a man can hit the wall too. If a man's money is not right, he's at the wall. Yeah, but see, he can always go get more money. You can't go get more time. Can't. A man can get himself together inside of a year, or inside of 3 years, turn his entire life around. You can't do that. Again, age gap dating. The group of women that have the women have a problem with it because they can't do it. Older women dating younger men know that there is no future in this. It is just a short time, but again, they're wasting the most valuable time. If a woman's dating a man 10 years younger than him, when he decides he's done with that, she's just wasted her time. And what you're going to notice is it comes down to time. Patriarchy, gender roles, traditional values, all comes down to time. So go ahead. If I got something wrong on this high value thing, go ahead, join in. But see, the thing is, Hidell, if you type in the caps, man, it's going to block you. If you type in caps, it's going to block you. And I said it the other day. Who can tell you sisters the truth? Who can tell you the truth? All right, this is your second. Hello? All right, this is your second time calling. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, Tamika.
Hi, Kevin. How are you?
Hey, how are you? How many times have you called into my show?
I think this might be my third time. The first time you weren't hearing me so well. The second time we had a discussion. This is my third time.
We've had 2 discussions. So what can I help you with?
I have a question. You make a statement sometimes.
Hold on, Allison. I will get back. I'm gonna put you back in the waiting room, Allison. You'll be up next, okay?
Sure, no problem.
No. You can stay. You can stay, Tamika. Go ahead, Tamika. Go ahead. I make a statement that. Go ahead. Ask your question.
So I've heard you say quite a few times that unmarried women will generally die alone. But based on my observation, if a woman is younger,
what's the question? What's the question? I don't need a statement. Just give me the question.
Wouldn't a married woman who is much younger than her husband die alone as well?
But she got a chance to be married and have a life and have kids. It's not a trick question. 1 out of 3 black women marry. That means 3 out of 4 will die unmarried, i.e. die alone. It's 75% most. It's 75%.
Okay, I was just saying.
It's 75% most.
Sure, yes.
Okay, so if most black women don't marry in their lifetime, won't most black women die alone?
I agree. I'm not disputing that part.
Okay.
I'm just saying if a female is much younger than her husband, it is likely for him to pass away before her, and she will die alone regardless.
Okay. You're trying to play tit for tat. It doesn't matter. She got married. The other ones didn't. Focus on the one. Okay, you're not married.
No.
And this is and I would say this topic likely bothers you.
No, it doesn't.
Then why are you okay? Then what is your ultimate point? That hey, everybody dies alone. Well, if you want to get technical, Tamika, everybody dies alone. No one dies with somebody else. That's not the point. See, let me explain something to you. Many black women are like you. You always have to be right. You're going to still argue when you're wrong on the facts. If you looked in the chat room, everybody's saying, what the fuck is wrong with this woman? Most black women die alone, and you're still talking about, well, a woman who gets married to an older man and he dies, she still dies alone as well.
For the most part, I agree with all the things that you say. This just particular part, it's almost...
Get off my show. I don't give a shit if you agree with most of the things. It's ridiculous. I'm not going to sit there and argue with your ass about the fact that most women are going to die alone if they don't get married. Wasting my time. Again, you see? It doesn't matter if you're right on the facts. Even if they agree with you, you're right. 1 out of 4 will get married. That means 3 out of 4 won't. So the 3 out of 4 that don't get married will die alone. Instead of just saying, yeah, but isn't that just as bad as if one of the ones that got married, see what they're trying, it's almost like I heard this argument where somebody tried to make being a baby daddy and being an in-home father the same thing. We try to make dysfunction normal so we don't have to feel some way about it. If that is not a dysfunctional ass culture, I don't know what it is. And you called me 3 times. I remember your calls. Allison, you need to unmute yourself.
Hi, good evening. How are you doing today?
Okay, I'm good. I need you to mute up. Close the YouTube channels and stuff in the background. I can hear all that noise.
Okay, hold on, please.
Hey, let me go ahead and unmute you. You got music going on in the background. You can't have any noise in the background. Ahmad. I can't pronounce your first name. Again, I want you guys to pay attention. You can't be right. You're going to be wrong. Somehow, instead of just, you know what? Focus. How about this? Ladies if you think that woman had a point, how about this? Focus on you. Worry about you. Are you married? Do you want to be? Then focus on you. Because you can be right on the argument to feel so good with yourself. That bed is cold as by itself. I'm tired of that silliness, man. Who wants to deal with that? Who wants to deal with that? That's what Brother Sperling was talking about earlier today. He's a high-powered attorney. He could go out here and beat this person, beat that person, and got to come home and worry about arguing with this batch. And that means a batch. That's bitchy. That kind of stuff is bitchy. Tamika, it's bitchy. And men don't want to deal with bitchy women. Hello? I can't hear you. Your microphone. Hello, Allison, go ahead.
Hi.
How are you?
Yes, I'm doing wonderful. Thank you. How are you today?
Good. What did I get wrong?
I don't know if you got anything wrong. I just want to know what the solution is. I am double nickels. I'm 55. I am a yoga teacher. And, I feel good about life. I feel good about myself, but I am single. I've been divorced.
Okay.
And so, just what is the solution?
Well,
what lane,
I don't know.
Really
I don't know. You're throwing a lot at me. So 55, how long were you married?
I was married for 6 years.
At what age did you get married?
I was 36 when I got married.
And you divorced 42, so you've been divorced for 13 years?
Yes.
Any children?
No children.
Okay. So why'd you wait so late to marry?
I guess career, pretty much, profession.
Have you been a yoga teacher your entire career?
I have not. I was a hairstylist prior to.
So I know plenty of hairstylists and yoga teachers that seem to be able to get married just fine.
I guess it wasn't exampled in my family, and so it wasn't something that I really, kind of went towards.
So how about this? How about we just, instead of saying career, because when you say that to a brother like myself, I hear disingenuous. What I'm hearing when you say career, you better, now let me tell you why.
Okay.
You want to hear? Do you want to hear it, or you just?
Yes, of course.
All right. When you tell me you're 55 and you're a yoga teacher and a hairstylist, you can't tell me you put off marriage because of a career. Because where I'm coming from, unless you are a international business, that ain't no career to be putting anything on hold for. That's what most men hear. When you say a career, you need to be arguing before the Supreme Court. You need to have a show enough damn business. Because a hairstylist, I can throw a rock and hit 10 hairstylists on the corner, and they can find husbands. I can throw a rock that way and find any massage therapist, yoga teacher, whatever, and white women can get married. So men don't hear that. The second part makes more sense. Wasn't raised to prioritize it. That makes more sense.
Okay.
Because at 55, when you and your husband divorced, what was the cause?
Infidelity, mainly. Yes.
How many times did you cheat on him?
Oh, wow. That's an interesting curve that you threw.
Why?
It wasn't on me.
Why?
It was on him.
Black women cheat at 4 percentage points less than black men.
Well, no, that was on him. It wasn't me.
Okay. Well, you said infidelity. Okay. So infidelity, was it rampant?
It was enough. I stayed long enough through it enough to where it was enough.
Well, I'm trying to find out, was it with one person?
No, that's what I'm saying. No, it wasn't with just one person.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So what was